Social Security just flipped in a major way yet again, and this is going to impact the monthly benefit checks of millions of beneficiaries. Well, I have this right here that I'm going to pop up on the screen here in just a minute that I want you to see exactly what they are saying, as this was an emergency letter sent out within Social Security talking about how they're changing this, and they haven't even officially announced this to the public as of yet. However, this right here, this decision that they are making is directly impacting, again, the monthly benefit checks from millions and millions of people going forward. We've got a lot to talk about here, and this has been such a wild year. Now, first off, I have a super fast question for you. How do you feel about all this flipping and flopping out of Social Security so far this year? I'm going to say the last 3.5 months or so, we've seen a lot of decisions coming out of Social Security, flipping and flopping back and forth. How do you feel about all this? Do you feel like this is unfair to the beneficiary? Do you feel like this is ridiculous? Do you feel like it's frustrating and confusing? I'd love to hear from you down below in the comment section if you feel like sharing. But I'm just kind of really curious what you feel about all this, because a lot of things have been changing so far. And again, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, I've been bringing you updates on this throughout the entire year. It's all back and forth, back and forth. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you. If you feel like sharing, I'd really appreciate your comment down below. Okay. So before I pop this up on the screen, let me preface this information super fast here, okay? Now, this, like I said, was an internal message within Social Security. This was a letter sent out internally within Social Security. This right here that I'm showing you was not supposed to be seen by the public. In other words, this right here is not supposed to be seen by you and me and everybody else. My point is, it honestly doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to you and me, simply because it's written in language that actually makes sense for people within Social Security. So when I pop this up on the screen here in just a second, you're going to be looking at it and thinking, what does that even mean? I don't even know what any of that stuff means. It doesn't make really any sense at all, right? That's why I'm trying to preface it by saying it's not going to make much sense, but I will put it up on the screen so you can see it, and then I will explain the details as far as what this actually means, okay? So anyway, let's pop it up right here, right now, and you can take a look at it. It's probably going to look super confusing, like, I don't know what's going on here. That's okay. If that's how you feel, that's okay. Let me explain the details about this. Okay, now I'm following up to a video that I had out a few days ago, okay? And I was talking about this internal letter within Social Security, okay? But let me explain what this is. Now, this was sent out within staff of Social Security not that many days ago, okay? But here's what it is. Okay, let me just kind of go back a little bit here to kind of lay the groundwork, because this is like, where's this even coming from? Okay, so back in March, we had a press release coming out of Social Security suggesting that they were going to reinstate the 100% garnishment of benefits in the event that somebody's overpaid. Got it. We've talked about that many times in the last month and a half or so, right? Nearly 2 months now. Okay, but then they came back and they reinstated the 100% garnishment as of the end of March, right? And then they basically said, well, SSI is going to stay at 10%. Nothing changes with SSI here. Even with this internal letter, SSI still remains at 10%, okay? But here's the difference. They had the 100% garnishment. But then with the internal letter here, I keep popping up my phone, but realistically it's still on your screen here. It should be. But anyway, so they have the 100% reinstated. But then they came back in this internal letter and they basically told staff, well, no, it's actually going to be 50%. We're not going to do 100%. We're going to do a 50% garnishment if we don't hear from these individuals, as in the overpayment individuals, within about 90 days or so after they receive the overpayment letter. And if they are not taking any action, as in they haven't paid it back or filed for an appeal or filed a waiver, whatever, then we're going to come in and start garnishing their benefit at 50%. Okay? But that's not the 100% that they told us back in March when they reinstated the 100%. Does that make sense? Right? So anyway, this letter here, the internal letter that went out to Social Security staff, is basically saying that they're going to implement the 50% garnishment in the event that somebody's overpaid, again, after about the 90-day period. But here's what also is interesting. They also say right here in this letter that this would be effective as of letters sent out April 25th and after. April 25th and after would be going back to the 50% garnishment versus 100% garnishment of overpayments. Okay, fine, I understand that. But here's the big question that I don't have an answer to, and they did not say it in the internal letter. And this is really bothering me because I can't find the answer on this. What happens to the beneficiaries that went back to the 100% garnishment from March 28th until April 25th, or I should say through April 24th? What is that? Almost a month's time. So like 3 weeks or so of time. That's more than 3 weeks. Yeah, nearly 4 weeks of time there. Let's just call it 4 weeks. Yeah, it was 4 weeks. Okay, it was 4 weeks of time. What happens to those beneficiaries that basically got an overpayment letter from the time of March 28th when they reinstated the 100% garnishment back to the 50% on April 25th and beyond, right? So that 1 month period of time, or that 4 week period of time, what happens to those people? Are they locked in at 100%? I don't have an answer to that. It did not say it here in this internal letter, and haven't been able to find it anywhere. So not really sure, but according to, again, this internal letter going out to Social Security staff, they're basically just saying any overpayment letter sent out April 25th or after would actually be, well, it's actually just going to be a 50% garnishment, not 100%. Okay, that's fine. That's good for the beneficiary. That means less money being garnished, but why didn't they just say this in the first place, right? Why did they have to walk this back again and again? Why I said at the beginning of the video, the flipping and flopping, the back and forth. One day it's on, one day it's off. One day they decide they're going to reinstate it. One day they decide to repeal it. It's very confusing. A lot of different details here, right? Now, this is all Social Security benefits with the exception of SSI, okay? I want to make that very clear, which, by the way, at the bottom, or I should say deeper down into this internal letter here, they did talk about Title 16. Title 16 is SSI, okay? You don't really need to know the details about that, but just think of it this way. If you were reading through this, as I had it there on the screen, if you saw Title 16, that's referring to SSI benefits, supplemental security income that will remain at 10%, okay? No going back to 100%, no going back to 50%. It's to 10% for SSI, so it'll have no impact whatsoever on SSI, okay? Even when they reinstated the 100%, SSI remained at 10%. Even when they lowered it down to 50% here, SSI remained at 10%. So SSI remains at 10% no matter what. It's all the other beneficiaries that are getting jerked around back and forth, back and forth. One day it's 10%, one day it's 100%, one day it's 50%. Make up your mind, right? Like, what's it going to be? Obviously, less is better. In this situation, 100% is not great, right? As we talked about back in March and things like this, and realistically over the last few weeks here, I've talked about it a little bit. But obviously, 50% would be way better for the beneficiary, but this is kind of where we're at right now. Wouldn't be shocked if they see this change again. So anyway, just want to bring you the quick detail on this and kind of where we're at. And again, in the video the other day, I said, hey, I'm going to bring you the letter, like this emergency letter that was sent out within Social Security staff. I told you in that video the other day, I said, I'll bring you a separate video and I'll pop up the letter for you so you can see it. So that's what I wanted to do with here in this video and just kind of talk through the details about this. And I'm sure as you read through that and looked through the details of it, you probably thought, I don't know what any of this means. That's okay, because like I said at the beginning of the video, it was not a letter that was supposed to be seen by the public. Okay, so anyway, it was an internal letter within Social Security that makes sense to Social Security beneficiaries, not to the public, right? That's why they have the press releases, to break it all down and to give us those details in a clear and concise manner with language that we actually understand, not within Social Security staff. Does that kind of make sense? Anyway. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, I'd love to hear your comments and your feedback down below. How do you feel, again, following up to the questions I had earlier out in this video, how do you feel about all this flipping and flopping, the back and forth? One day it's on, one day it's off. One day we're going to say this, one day we're going to reverse, right? So, I don't know. It just seems like this is ridiculous. Do we really need to be doing this? Just maybe they should take another minute to think about it a little bit more, make up their mind fully before they actually implement and announce to the public, hey, we're doing this, only to walk it back days later. I don't know. Just seems like unnecessary confusion that is being added in all this. So Anyway, if you want more certainty right now with all of this massive uncertainty that we're dealing with, hey, check this out right here. See this? This is a phone number right here for your dedicated team of trusted Medicare advisors. If you need any help with your Medicare, you know the drill. I've talked about it so many times before, but if you need any help with your Medicare, again, initial enrollment into Medicare, if you're turning 65, if you're retiring, if you have a Medicare supplement plan, a Medigap plan, Medicare Part D, Medicare Advantage, whatever it happens to be, if you need any help with that, please call the trusted advisors. Phone number right here. Make sure to give them a call. They're waiting to talk to you. They're waiting to help you in any way they possibly can. And again, it's 100% for free. They have access to over 20,000 plans across the country. They're working diligently to help those of you here in this community, which, by the way, we're rapidly approaching 2,000 of you here in this community that have already called them. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you have saved a ton of money. I've seen the comments. I've seen the testimonials. I've seen it out there. It's incredible how much money you here in the community are already saving. By the way, just think of it this way. How awesome would it feel to finally have the right plan that properly covers and serves you, rather than just some random plan thinking, oh man, I hope I don't get whacked with another major medical bill this week. I'm scared to go to the doctor or whatever because I don't want to get another massive medical bill. Well, that's the difference between having the wrong plan and actually having the right plan, which is what the advisors will do. They will help you find the right plan, as they will look through all the plans in your local area to break it all down to find the best plan at the best price with the best coverages and the best fit for you and your personal needs. We all have different medical needs. Therefore, our coverages also need to be very different. Anyway, give them a call. And again, if you're retiring, turning 65, moving across state lines or county lines, call them immediately. They will help you right away with this. Otherwise, if you need any help with your Medicare, again, supplements, initial enrollment, Medigap plans, Medicare Part D, Medicare Advantage, whatever it happens to be, again, write the phone number down, take a picture, take a screenshot, call them, let them help you. They will help you 100% for free, and you'll be super happy you did. Anyway, let me ask another favor of you. Who do you know? I know you know a few people. We all know a few people, right? My aunts and uncles, unfortunately for them, yep, they are the ones on my radar right now that I'm reaching out to saying, hey, you're turning 65. You need some help with your Medicare, right? And they do, because we all do. Anyway, just share this video or share that phone number with them. Again, friends, family members, neighbors, acquaintances, siblings, parents, coworkers, anybody that you know that needs that assistance, please share that phone number with them. Here you go. Phone number right here. Make sure to share that with them. The trusted advisors that are going to work to help so many of you here in this community. And otherwise, please share this video as well. Big share button right down below. If you're new here, if you've not done so yet, please consider subscribing. Big subscribe button down below the video. Otherwise, check out the well over 5,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description or popping up on your screen here in just a second. You'll see some videos there. Check those out. Otherwise, until next time, please have a nice day. I hope this helps you out a little bit, and I'm really excited to read your comments down below as well. Otherwise, enjoy